Hello, my name is Basia Salih Hoffman, and I warmly welcome you to the program Fine Art. Today, I would like to tell you about one of my favorite ancient sculptures. Exquisite, spectacular, and dramatic. Lost for centuries. Laocoön and his sons. Such is the case with the Laocoön, for example, in the palace of the Emperor Titus, a work that may be looked upon as preferable to any other production of the art of painting or of bronze statuary. It is sculptured from a single block, both the main figure as well as the children and the serpents with their marvelous folds. This group was made in the concert by three most eminent artists, Agasander, Polydorus, and Athenodorus, natives of Rhodes. Thus, in the 70s AD, Pliny the Elder described the Laocoön Group in the pages of his most famous work, Natural History. The masterpiece was known for centuries only through this description. No one knew what it looked like, which certainly stimulated the imagination because its location remained a mystery. Imagine a chilly January day in the year 1506. On the grounds of a Roman vineyard, workers stumbled upon a very unexpected, mysterious find. Someone well versed in art was quickly brought to the scene. Michelangelo. Yes, that Michelangelo, who was one of the witnesses to the discovery of the long-lost Laocoön Group, a true masterpiece of ancient art. All right, so what has been presented here? A tale of death. Laocoön was supposed to be a Trojan priest who tried to warn his fellow citizens about the Greek trick with the Trojan horse and prevent the introduction of the gift into the city. Oh, the gods did not like that at all. Laocoön was cruelly punished by them. The gods sent dreadful sea serpents upon the priest and his sons, leading to the death of all of them. The sculpture, at the moment of discovery, made an impression on everyone, although it didn't look then as we see it today at the Vatican museums. It was broken into many pieces and lacked certain parts of the sculpture, mainly the right arm of the priest and the younger son, as well as parts of the serpents. The elder son was separated from the rest of the composition. The missing arm was a tricky situation. No one had envisaged that Venus de Milo would become an icon of beauty despite some shortcomings. Therefore, it had been decided to add the missing arm. It was assumed that it probably looked like this. During the Renaissance, the practice of restoring fragmented, surviving pieces of ancient art was widely accepted. The discovery of ancient sculpture shattered by time and neglect, and the restoration of its semblance of wholeness reflected an attitude of Renaissance people. Throughout the modern era, the common conservation method for these rediscovered ancient works was restauro integrativo, reconstruction by filling in missing elements, as was the case with the Laocoön Group. You know, The process of restauro integrativo was a bit like solving a puzzle where many pieces are lost and the box with the complete picture is missing too. In 1906, another sensational discovery related to the Laocoön Group took place. Archaeologist Ludwig Polak found the lost original arm of Laocoön. This arm had a completely different arrangement than the one proposed in the Renaissance reconstruction. I guess it took a while to get used to this idea, because the change occurred 50 years later, in 1957, when the original arm of Laocoön was inserted and the added elements from the 16th century were removed. It was probably acknowledged that since the reconstruction of Laocoön's arm went so wrong, it was time to refrain from experimenting with the boy's arms. This work is characterized by profound drama, strong chiaroscuro contrast, and prominently emphasized musculature. Indeed, Laocoön was supposed to be a Trojan priest, a clergyman, but he looks as if he's constantly training at the gym. Excuse me, in the gymnasium. That's what the prototype of today's fitness club was called in ancient Greece. Greek artists had an excellent understanding of human anatomy and could depict it with meticulous precision. During the Hellenistic period, many sculptures emerged that can be described as realistic, even brutally naturalistic. However, often for the ancients, beauty was more important than realism, and this attitude is perfectly evident in the Laocoön Group, where the truth of beauty takes precedence over the truth of reality. The sculpture illustrates the moment of the greatest drama, but also unimaginable pain, especially in the main figure. While the face and silhouette of Laocoön depict suffering, wouldn't a man strangled and beaten by serpents have a face distorted by pain? Certainly not, when the artist's goal is to depict perfection, understood not as perfect truth, but perfect aesthetics. Charles Darwin pointed out that Greek artists made an anatomical mistake by sculpting transverse furrows across the entire width of the forehead. Darwin suggested that the explanation for this practice lies in prioritizing beauty over truth, because rectangular, anatomically correct furrows wouldn't look as spectacular in marble. And finally, the question is, why were the figures depicted naked? Postulating that Laocoön, as a priest, would never appear publicly naked, the deliberate choice to depict the figures naked serves the purpose of heroizing them. Presenting the characters naked bestowed upon them a divine quality, likening them to gods which resonates with ancient perception. It's a pity that we're in the middle of winter, and it will be a long time before we can undress and feel like nearly naked ancient gods on the beach. I warmly invite you to the next episodes.